create a barrier so that he can't close the distance, and you're gonna go over and under in the sewing machine technique, popularized in the penitentiary, right? Just coming in and over for self-defense. You can also have it coming straight behind you. You can turn, stick it into the head. You can bring it straight down over the top, all from this simple piece of wood. You're gonna learn about the self-defense tools that I'm gonna take with me on my trip this week. And these are self-defense tools that you can take with you anywhere you go. They're hidden self-defense tools. The first one is so simple, so basic. It doubles as a massage stick, which is the answer. If anybody asks me what that's for, as I go through TSA to get on the airplane, if they even pull it out of the bag, which they never do, and they said, you know, what is that? Why do you have that? Is that a tool for self-defense? Is that a weapon? The answer is absolutely not. It is a self-defense tool, and I do use this on some fascia. The fascia in my muscles get really tight, especially as I get older, and this will loosen up the fascia and break it up a little bit, muscle adhesions. I also use this on my piriformis. I start to walk funny, I'm limping through that airport. I'll pull that out and I'll stick that tip in there. It's a very simple palm stick, also known as a Yawara, and I make these for a lot of people. Thank you, Studer, for that generous gift. Happy Thanksgiving. So this is the Yawara palm stick, and when you put it in your fist, you now have a loaded fist. A loaded fist is like holding a roll of quarters. Some people hold a lighter in their hand. Anything that adds a little bit of weight, but also aids in the structure of your fist. It keeps you from busting your knuckles in, from pushing them in, from compressing. And so when you strike, you hit so much harder than you could if you had an empty fist and you're punching this way. So a loaded fist for self-defense is a very good option. So from here, if you had to, you pull out your pocket stick, your Yawara pocket stick, also known as my personal massage tool, and then I'm able to effectively defend myself with a simple punch, giving me a much harder punch. Hello, Matthew. Alita, it's good to see you. Studer's here. So from this position, straight punch is always the fastest, most direct, most effective for self-defense if you had to. I like to be first mover if I know I have no other choice, and I'm able to pull this out, and then I can throw that punch. And so I can carry this, you can carry this hidden self-defense tool that you can take anywhere you go, everywhere you go, because it's just a simple piece of wood. Now, if this were made out of metal with the point, the TSA security might have more of an issue with it. They might question you on it, and it might be hard to justify. But it doesn't have to be made out of metal to be effective. First thing that you do is you use it as a loaded weight in your fist. The second thing that you can do is by swinging your entire upper body, using all this leverage and all the power in your core muscles in the front and back, swinging that into something like the temple, the jaw, the ear, the side of the neck. You hit that neck at the right point, you can put somebody on the ground very quickly, the blood flushes out of their brain, and they fall knocked out. So you're able to strike here, you can come into the ribs and the body, you can stick that into his hip or into the side of the leg. You hit that sciatic nerve right there. Maybe you're sitting and he's coming up to you, and you just, you're sitting in your chair waiting for your plane. There's a crazy person, something we see over and over again on flights. They've stripped you of all your self-defense tools, but you can carry this hidden self-defense tool that you can take anywhere you go, the Yawara palm stick. So the first one is that weighted punch. The second one is just swinging. The third one is the opposite of that, which is swinging back. Now you're engaging those huge back muscles and bringing it through this way. And again, from your shoulder to your arm, or really from your spine to the Yawara, to that point on your pocket stick, you have all of this leverage coming through to generate maximum amount of force. And again, you can do this as you're seated. You can easily do it while you're standing. The fourth strike from this is simply straight in, using that tip going into his nose or his eyes or his teeth, right here, the bridge of the nose, into his chin. Anywhere in here, that could be a fatal strike, so it has to be for life or death. Into the chest. You can even just take it with the tip, put your thumb there, and then press straight down and hit all that nerves. Those of you who've done martial arts for a long time, where pressure points involved, have had that done to you probably, and you know what that feels like. That's a very painful strike. But a simple pushing strike is very effective. And again, anywhere in the center line of the body. The question is, what can I remove or destroy for self-defense? Tim Larkin, who wrote the book When Violence is the Answer, I'll put the link to that below. And his question is, what can you remove or destroy? So if you think in terms of that, what can I remove or destroy? His ability to see, breathe, temporarily, permanently, his ability to stand up, his ability to use his arm. Maybe you stick it right there at the top of the chest, right under the clavicle. You hit that nerve, or you even pop that bone, pop that first rib up and out. That will keep you from using that arm. Everything goes numb. You won't be able to use that until you get a chiropractor or somebody to pop that back in. But you can just strike simply straight forward. Anywhere you're coming, there's the other hand coming in to create a barrier so that he can't close the distance. And you're gonna go over and under in the sewing machine technique, popularized in the penitentiary, right? Just coming in and over for self-defense. You can also have it coming straight behind you. You can turn, stick it into the head. You can bring it straight down over the top, all from this simple piece of wood pocket stick. Again, I make these if you're interested in these. I sell these for less than $20. There's a link below in the description if you want to look at that, or you make your own, right? This is simply a piece of oak. This is an 1.25" dowel rod. I use my file, and I file the tip there. I don't have a lathe, so I file it down, sand it really nice, oil it up, just like I do the other sticks that I sell. And then you have a very heavy-duty self-defense pocket stick that, again, when they ask you, what is that for? You don't say, well, in case somebody in the airport tries to hurt me, I can defend myself. They'll take it from you immediately. If you say, oh, I have a lot of muscle pain and I use this. This is just it's a massage tool, and that's all it is. There are a lot of rolling, and this does work exceptionally well. So if you do need a massage tool, this is a good option. Being a pocket stick, it fits perfectly in your pocket, fits in a bag. I'll carry it in my pocket as I walk through the airport. When I get to the TSE, I'll pull it out. Got to get everything out of your pockets, stick it in my bag, goes through. And again, they have never taken this out and asked me what that's for. I don't even know if it shows up on their x-ray. It probably does, but it looks like something else that they're used to seeing. But it's just a simple self-defense tool. Yawara pocket stick, make your own. Get one from me, get one from somewhere else. But this is one of the best self-defense tools you can take in non-permissive environments, places you can't take a gun, you can't take a knife, you can't take just about anything else. Yeah, Bill says hit first and hit hard, hit fast. The second self-defense tool, and if you've been with me for any length of time, you knew this was coming out, is my self-defense cane. This is a Cane Masters cane. This is their least expensive option. There's a link below if you want to see. These things go up to a ridiculous amount of money, or you can get one for less than 50 bucks. This one is my favorite to train with. This is the Dojo training cane. In this position, you're just walking through, minding your own business. You get to that CSA checkpoint, you put that on, let it go through the conveyor belt, walk through the metal detector, pick it up, and I'll bet you, unless they know what it is, unless they know about Cane Masters, they'll say nothing. And if they do know about Cane Masters, the only thing I've ever heard people report, that people say about the Cane Masters and the TSA is, that's a really nice Cane Masters cane. That's a great self-defense cane. Here you go. And they send you on your way with it. And I've also heard you can also take the Derby style. Most people have never been stopped with the Derby style cane. That's the one with the straight handle instead of the crook. But the crook, the Americans with Disability Act and the HIPAA laws protect your privacy on why you're allowed to carry it or not. They're not allowed to ask you, and it's none of their business. That's your personal medical history. And then the Americans with Disability Act is why you can take it anywhere you go. And so you bring this onto the plane, you can sit with it, you can put it in the overhead, you get out, you go to your destination. We're gonna be gone for 5 days, visiting another city. It's a relatively safe city. Where we'll be is relatively safe. But during travel, you never know. You see all of these reports these days about craziness in the airports especially, and people, it's a holiday weekend, lots of travel, lots of alcohol involved, lots of people taking other substances that make them crazy. People are already on edge, they're already stressed. It just takes a little bit to send somebody over the edge, and you have your own self-defense tool. This creates distance. So this can keep you away a lot farther, obviously, than the palm stick. You've got 36 inches here, where this is about 8 inches long. From here, you can bring it up under his legs very quickly. You can swing it down over the top of the head, bring it up to the side of the head, into the ribs. You can get it into the other hand quickly, thrusting here, pushing here, boxing the ears, taking the crook, ripping across the side of the face, which is the purpose. Well, it's not the purpose for the bevel, it's a secondary use of the bevel. This bevel is to make it easier for you to put it into your hand, to carry it, but it also will allow you to remove or destroy his ability to see, breathe, temporarily, permanently, all those things just with that. You can also reach up, stick it in one of those muscles, pull him closer, maybe you're sitting. And again, all these things work standing or sitting. Really simple. You can also pop it up here, put your hands up, back up. I don't want any trouble. I will defend myself. I'll defend my family. Don't take a step closer. He does. You have to respond quickly. Put in the other hand. There's a chopping motion. There's a ripping motion. There's a rifle bayonet attack. You can use a rifle butt strike coming in this way. Both hands bashing through the middle, this hard piece of oak. Or you can get these made in hickory. When you go to the website, which is the link below, you can see all the materials you can make. Let's take the teeth right out of his face. Yeah, Studer says my 2 favorite sticks. Studer, for me, also my 2 favorite sticks. And I'm also bringing my favorite home gym with me that I use with one of the sticks anyway, and that is the resistance band. I'll put the resistance band on my cane, or I'll use it just by myself. There's probably a fitness center in the gym. My experience these days is that either if it's a really nice fitness center inside the, not the gym, the hotel, then it'll be used. There'll be a lot of people. It'll be hard to find time to use the equipment. By the time you get down and back and it just isn't worth it for me. Or they'll have an old treadmill or an old bike and maybe a set of dumbbells, and it's just hard to get a good workout. And again, maybe somebody's using it. This way I can bring this into my room while everybody else is still asleep. It makes no sound because you're not banging weights around. I can do my standing push-ups, I can push down, I can push up, I can bring my hands inside, I can work the triceps, the back of the arms that make for harder strikes. My purpose of exercising as I get older, it's always been this way. I've never really cared about the muscles. Maybe when I was in high school, how you look. But when I went in the military, after I became a Marine, the first thing that I always thought about, thank you, Alita, for that generous gift. First thing I started to think about from then till now is how can I defend myself? How can I defend the people I care about? How can I defend those around me? What kind of strength, functional fitness? That's all I've focused on for the last, 30 years anyway. If you put your feet between it, so that you're standing with your feet wide, and then bring your elbows inside and bend, you can go a little bit or a lot, and just an explosive press, you're gonna hit almost every muscle in your body, and you wanna think about time under tension. Don't worry about counting repetitions. Don't try to do 30 or 40 or whatever. Do 30 seconds or more and then rest. It'll depend on the size of the band. And I don't have a link in the description, but I'll put a link in the description to these bands. This is less than $15. I know this one I got when it was on clearance, so I got it for like $7. And this has probably, 10,000 hours in it, and it still hasn't snapped. I marvel at this one all the time because I haven't been able to break it. And it's not that I'm trying to break it, we just use it all the time. This is a great one if you ever get headaches. And what you're doing, headaches from tightness in your chest or from stress, this is gonna activate the muscles along your upper spine and get your shoulders back and down. Or if you do this all the time, or if you have a job where you're doing this exercise is great. But your thumb has to turn back and out, coming down. And notice the band starts above your head or about forehead, and then it comes down to the top of your chest. And there's that slight turn. And again, go for 30 seconds, and you'll notice your chest will start to get wider. When I do go to the gym, which I haven't been to in over a month and a half because I'm working like 12 hours a day, you see these young guys in there, and they're lifting massive amounts of weight on the benches. They're doing every machine they can to try to make their chest look big, and then they have crappy posture. They have poor posture. Their shoulders roll forward, and they look in the mirror, and to themselves, they look puny because they just did all that work and their muscles still aren't big enough. It's because they're not broad. And to get broad, you just pull your shoulders back and down, and you'll be 6 inches wider. I like to put it in one hand, bring your elbow inside, and press, and do it in an explosive way. And this one, when you have to, when you're sitting in that chair and you're at the airport and that guy gets in your face and you need to get him out of you because he's nuts, you'll be able to add power to that punch or pushing him off. As your shoulders get stronger, you won't have all the ailments and the illnesses and the limitations that people have as they get older because you're keeping your body fit and strong all from your band. So start with one of these, and again, either get one from me or make your own, right? You make your own, it's super simple. I'll make a video on how to make these. They're so super easy. You cut it to the length you want. I usually go wider than my hand. I've got a wide hand, but most people are within range, so standard size isn't bad. But you have some coming out each side. Now, so you can do that, and you can do that, right? You can do this, and you can do that. And then mostly the weighted part of the hand, the loaded fist, very effective, very powerful. And then your walking cane. And if you need your cane to stand up, get two canes, lean on one, hit them with the other one, striking powerfully with one hand. You can do a lot with one hand if you keep it in your center line. If you're swinging out here, it's harder on your shoulder, but if you keep everything from here, fighting in front of your body like you should with your stick, you can do a lot with just that one arm.